Hello, I'm Tabitha Muthoni and welcome to On the Farms of Africa. This is a show that brings you various tech farming methods, trending and emerging agribusinesses in Africa. This week, we take you to Mashilands of Moya in Kirinyaga County, where we discover how to grow rice the organic way. Next, Francescah, Munyi, a soil fertility expert, takes us through effective and affordable inputs on repairing damaged soils as a result of industrial fertilizers. Later, we compare tomato yields from inorganic to organic farming. Rice is a frequent delicacy in most Kenyan homes, but the growing process is a rather harsh experience for most growers. Joseph Munene has been a rice cultivator for the past 33 years, and it is thanks to his hard work that he can afford a smile on his face whenever he sees a plate of rice on our tables. Let's take a look at his journey. Enter Joseph Munene, rice farmer, Tibere section, Unit 20.
When we start growing rice, most of the times we start in the 4th month because it's observed when it rains, there's plenty of water. And because it's not Tibere section that's farming, we are able to distribute water and then start farm preparation.
This is where the whole process begins.
When we farm, we use our bulls to plow until July. Till July, it's when we start thinking of what seed to plant, either the BW variety or Pishori.
After tilling the ground and waiting from April to July for the soil to regain its tenacity, planting takes course.
So during the 7th month, we come and prepare nurseries because we start planting in the 8th month from date 1 to 9 for those who plant late. After rice has been transplanted into the farm, it takes 3.5 months. So if you count those days, they are 90 plus 15, which becomes 105 days. That rice is fully grown for harvest. After rice is done growing, you can harvest through people or tractors. The purpose is to harvest. Those tractors make work easier because they harvest in a short duration, which afterwards is taken straight into sacks. But when we are harvesting using people, it has first to be cut down, beaten up and put inside sacks. We then take it home for drying because when beating, the farm is usually hard. Even when so, rice has its own oil. You bask it out till it gets moisture from 14, put it in a sack and sew it. There are companies that buy, like the cereals board, but most of the time, they buy when they are late. Most of the people that we sell to are local women who buy to go and mill. The rice that we harvest is husky and is called paddy. Afterwards, the women take the rice to the mill, of which the husks are removed. What we get from it is bran, so that the rice is left clean, which is what we sell in the market.
Munene's journey for the last 30 years has been a stressful one compared to the previous 3 years that have seen him walk close to his financial freedom. Kenya Organic Finest Aromas Limited KOFAR has played a big part in most farmers' yields in this region, of which Munene has also adopted. It has made this happen through introduction of soil education that has seen many embrace the technology by use of organic and natural farm inputs, thus reversing the damage caused by industrial fertilizers over the years.
God helped me and I found my luck. I met a friend of mine called Peter who told me he farms using organic inputs. So I asked him how the organic inputs work. He went and introduced me to KOFAR. He told me the fertilizer is good and it would repair my soil, so I won't have to use the chemical fertilizer again. I believed him because he told me he has used that fertilizer. I was afraid at first since I had not used it before. KOFAR taught me how to use their inputs and I became one of their farmers. I used to farm using the industrial fertilizer. When I had well harvested using the chemical one, I would get 25 sacks, and I believed the outcome should be so. But when I farmed using the organic fertilizer from KOFAR, using very little of it, the harvest I got was 29 sacks, the second 29 and 3/4 bags. I saw that I had increased my yields by 4 sacks and fell in love with the company. I stuck by it and even tell my fellow farmers to adopt the system. The price of KOFAR fertilizers is low compared to the high yields. We uproot one bunch and compare the difference between the two. These are the bunches by KOFAR. We see that the roots are longer and tend to go deeper into the soil, but the roots of the chemical one are short. Even when I take back the organic one into the soil, it will still grow like the rest.
I have farmed rice for a long time, 10 years to be precise, using the old common way where we have used a lot of money and expenses incurred using the chemical way, but I have seen a difference with the KOFAR one, which is cheaper. It removes acidity in the soil. I will definitely use it in the next season.
The technology and know-how to increasing farm yields has been found, but the market outlet still remains a huge concern.
The challenges we face as rice farmers is that during the planting season, no one has money. You must look for money so that you are able to harvest, and then tell the lender to take equivalent rice to the amount lent. If there can be found a company that can help farmers by buying the rice in time, the rice farmer will be stable and will be very happy.
Throughout the toil and moil, Monene has made some milestones in his life.
I have been able to fend for myself and in a position to build a nice house, which I am in the process of completing, as well as educate my son. But for the 3 years I have been with KOFAR, I have been able to save well.
With overtime soil stability, high yields and better returns will be expected in the near future if everyone will adjust to natural and organic farm inputs. We take a short break right now, but when we come back, we show you how tomatoes are grown. Did you know that kale is high in fiber and water? Both of these help prevent constipation and promote regularity and a healthy digestive tract. It also contains B vitamins and vitamin C, which promotes iron absorption. These are essential for the release of energy from food. Well, now you know. Women in the agribusiness sector are the solution to a healthy feeding program for the nation through mobilizing and supporting the domestic private sector, both at national and continental levels. But for this to happen, attention to soil preparation and treatment is of key concern, especially when nature plays a key role in the organic inputs. Francescah, Munyi, an agronomist as well as founder and CEO of Kenya Organic Finance Aromas Limited KOFAR, takes us through effective and affordable organic soil repair inputs that repairs damaged soils through reclaiming technology by use of organic and natural farm inputs.
KOFAR is a social enterprise, and what we do in Kenya is handling soil fertility. What we noticed some years back is so many of the farmers are losing so much yields due to soil fertility, an area which many farmers are not aware. When they are talking about losing on crops or yields, they blame the seeds, they blame fertilizer, they will blame the rain. Nobody talks much about the state of their soil. A few are aware on analyzing their soils, but they don't even know how to interpret their results.
What does KOFAR exactly do?
KOFAR produces products that rectify soil acidity, boosts moisture retention, and balances the pH, literally handling soil fertility. The whole essence of KOFAR is to increase yields for the farmers. So even when somebody has a very small farm, 1 acre, have an acre, whatever crop they put in, they harvest to its maximum production.
KOFAR's products are K-Tiba, also known as Reclaim, which is an all-natural broad-spectrum oil stimulant designed to eliminate the negative effects of continuous use of chemical inputs. Rotuba, also known as organic fertilizer, which is fortified in order to meet crop-specific nutrition demands. Nano, which combines the properties necessary for cleaning up the waste in the soil, bringing the soil back to vibrant life. Seed Boosts. This is an all-organic product which is essential for organic and conventional farmers, which provides all seed types with a kickstart, reducing the germination period and producing an even and uniform germination. Tawi Plus, also known as the leafy solution, is a foliar treatment designed to increase carbohydrate levels within a plant, thus raising the crop growth levels and setting higher production rates.
So the hindrance of yields being affected by soil fertility shouldn't happen when a farmer uses KOFAR products.
Okay, great. So how do you come up with your products? What exactly goes into it?
First, we checked what really many of the soils are lacking: organic matter, the humus, something that helps the soil structure with holding moisture. So we created a compost and we fortified it in a way that that compost, when you put it in the soil, you don't have to hunt for so much manure, animal manure. This super fortified compost gives you all the humus and all the organic matter that you need for your soil. That's the first. We also came up with a conditioner, something that helps break down the cumulative locked up nutrients to make them available to the crop. So many of the farms, when the soils are done soil analysis, you can see the nutrients are there in the soil, but the crop cannot access them. So you find the farmer planted maize, but it's looking yellow. He planted rice, but it's looking yellowish. And he added so much fertilizer. It's still in the soil, but it's locked up. It's not available. So we make sure that it is available. The last product that we give them is for boosting microorganisms and enzymes in the soil. Soil has to be alive. So why is it important for the microorganisms to be there? To handle diseases. If you literally boost the microbial levels in soils, the crop doesn't suffer so many diseases that farmers have experienced. At times you find a tomato farmer whose entire crop got spoiled. All potatoes, they just rot. All maize, strange diseases sweeping an entire area. So all of it is, if you boost the beneficial microorganisms and enzymes in soil, all those diseases won't be there. So the crop grows in a very beautiful environment. Soil fertility is very important for any farmer who really want yields and who wants to grow crops in an economical manner without using so much chemicals in the farms.
Okay, great. So maybe you can talk to us about the challenges that you've faced so far.
One of the major challenges was so many farmers did not connect their low yields with soil fertility. So teaching them a new concept that they have to feed soil the same way they feed the crop, or they have to take care of soil the same way they take care of their crop, was a whole new thing. So many of them had to learn a new concept, that soil needs to be maintained and it needs to be healthy. That was hard. Raising money to train farmers wasn't easy. Even big NGOs did not really know much about the soil fertility. They didn't really have budgets on training farmers on soil fertility. So getting a partner, having people train farmers, having us train the people train farmers, it wasn't easy. That was the biggest hindrance. The second one was for working with the government bodies to do research. It's expensive to do research on products in Kenya. So even if you are Kenyan and you are an SME and you're bringing in new products for farmers in Kenya, there's a whole big process which takes years and costs you have to have enough money. So research work is very important. After we finished the research, it was good, and we had doctors and agronomists and professors supporting our work and scientists, but affording to do that research was another tall order. I wouldn't say we've got a market for the farmers. I would say the crops that the farmers are growing, because they are now better, they are of more quality, and they are actually tasting better. The farmers getting markets for that quality product is easier. So we haven't really hunted for a special market for our farmers, for their yields or whatever it is they are growing, because they are growing variety of crops. Rice, coffee, tomatoes, French beans, every one of them had a market already. What they were looking for is good quality for their existing market. If it's coffee, they needed better quality for their existing market. If it's French beans, they wanted more yields of high quality that the exporters needed. So you find a farmer who was doing 1 ton or 2 tons of French bean is now doing 8 of quality beans that the market wants. If it's rice farmers, Bishori, Moya Bishori, the farmers were doing below 20 bags or 22. But now they're doing 32 bags of very good aromatic and sweet smelling rice. So we didn't get a market for them. But we got a market for our products with the farmers who had issues with acidity, bacteria wilt, nematodes, and very low yields. So yeah, that's what I would say about market. But if we get a special buyer, we already have the farmers who are growing different variety of crops. So whatever somebody wants, we just connect them with the farmers. And
I must commend the work that KOFAR has been doing, or rather has done so far. Are there growth opportunities, or rather where do we see you in the near future?
We have over 8 million farmers, small-scale farmers who are suffering. So many of them who are not even breaking even in their farms. All because the yields are very low. So if we talk of potential in Kenya alone, it's huge. So many farmers have issues with rotting potatoes, very low yields in coffee, very low yields in vegetables and fruits. So the market is big. Where KOFAR will be in a few more years is if we can even be able to take care of 400,000 acres. That's enough for us to just be a voice that we repair soils in Kenya for many farmers. And we're not just there for small-scale farmers, even large-scale farmers who have issues with soil fertility, who cannot use animal manure because of application systems, they can use our compost. It's easy to apply. And they can maintain their soils in a healthy state, increase the organic matter, the humus. So the market is huge in Kenya alone. When we finish Kenya, then we can think of in 5 years or more going across the border.
Wow, that's quite a dream there. Thank you so much. It was nice having you, and thank you so much for what you are doing already in Kenya, and we do wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It is thanks to nature for giving us an equatorial climate that allows suitability of a wide array of crops on the same land. Our next story, we feature an organic farmer planting an organic tomato. Well, this is all about organic farming. Let's explore that story. From the nursery to the farm, tomatoes thrive best with full sun and warm, well-drained soil. This in Mwea is an added advantage as the countryside is naturally sunny. Dominic Mothike, a rice and tomato farmer, barely rests as he has to tend to his tomatoes.
Let's say it's 4 years as a tomato farmer. I used the disc to prepare the nursery. I waited for 2 weeks for the soil to regenerate. After the soil is rich, I dug terraces. After 3 weeks from the nursery, I planted the seedlings into the farm. One makes the holes distance from each other by 5 steps according to the perimeter of your farm. I spread the first water on the farm using organic conditioner that treats the soil. Before the fertilizer, I sprayed nano organic input that gets rid of tomato diseases. I mixed nano in a drum and waited for 48 hours before spraying it onto the farm. Always make sure that before spraying that the water is well submerged into the soil. Tomatoes take 75 days to mature, which is 2.5 months. The 5-step distances in between the tomatoes are for clinging the leaves onto the rope depending on the size of the tomato suckers, plus protecting the tomatoes from drainage by water from the pumps. This supports to lift the tomato fruit to keep it away from the soil dirt and not rot during the rainy season.
Support twikiraga ni undu wa gukiria nyanya matunda matigakorwo mabutĩtie tĩri niketha nyanya ikorwo itheru na itikabuthe bingo ya mbura. Mai makwa
I get my water from River Thiba. We also call it the River of God because it springs from the mountain. One is required to have a water pump machine and pipes. Without these, you are not able to farm. From where I pump my water from, I have joined together 150 pipes to supply water in my farm. When the tomato gets to the clinging stage, you tie the leaf to the rope using a thread. We prefer putting posts and longer sticks because the tomato might grow taller. Once tomato suckers emerge, you add another rope and tie a new leaf onto it.
With a big appetite for more returns, Muthike has introduced Rotuba, a Kenya Organic Finest Aromas Limited natural input, into his soil.
2 weeks after planting, a first fertilizer will be required. So I mix Rotuba and spray it onto the farm.
The impact of Rotuba being to repair soil has already been felt with the way his tomatoes are advancing.
Because of using organic inputs, this tomato is good. There are diseases such as whitefly which will not attack the fruit. In the first farm where I was using chemical fertilizer, you can see that quarter of the yields are spoiled. Looking at the current state the tomatoes are in, which is 1 month, cannot be compared with the chemical ones, which at the same time had no fruit. Looking at the great difference now, I highly anticipate double yields.
Tomatoes are his number one major income earner as he harvests and sells twice per week once they are due.
Once my tomatoes are ready for sale, it is the buyers who come from afar into my farm to buy. They come twice per week, so I harvest my tomatoes twice a week. When they come, we are already aware of the market prices. I used to sell 1 box of tomatoes at 4,000 Kenyan shillings, but now 4,500 Kenyan shillings. It depends with how the market is trending.
Farming has improved the livelihoods of farmers, and Muthike is no exclusion.
Since I started tomato farming, I have benefited a lot. My children can afford to go to school. I have a house and I bought a plot where I have built rental houses.
Understanding our farm yield capacity and ways to double it will be best borrowed from KOFAR, whose mission is to promote sustainable livelihoods and food security through soil conditioning. From me, Tabitha Muthoni, and the entire On the Farms of Africa team, have a lovely week.